Good afternoon. I am Lindsay Horvath, your supervisor for the 3rd District here in Los Angeles County. Today we are joined shortly by our Mayor of Malibu, Doug Stewart, and joined here already with us our Mayor Pro Tem, Marianne Riggins, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Colonel Brian Saucer, and Chris Shepard from our Department of Public Works, among others, and we thank you all for being here today. This week is a critical point in our recovery from the devastating Palisades fire. This is the last week for homeowners to complete right of entry forms for debris removal. An opt-in means you would like to be part of the government debris removal program and that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers contractors will clean your lot at no direct cost to you. An opt-out means that you plan to hire private contractors at your own expense. No matter your decision, you must complete an ROE, either opting in or opting out by March 31st. If you are considering the program, please opt in. Please fill out an ROE so we can consider your application. If you are negotiating with your insurance and you're unsure, opt in. You can change direction later, but you can't opt in later. If you are already working with a private contractor but have not opted out officially, please do. Especially because your contractors will not be able to take debris from your site to landfills unless they are properly permitted. So please make sure that you opt out. Let us know, and work with the county to get properly permitted. I also have a message for condo and RV owners, residents of the Palisades Bowl and Tahitian Terrace in particular. Please submit your ROE forms as well. FEMA has not yet provided a definitive answer on whether condos and mobile homes qualify, but we are pushing for your inclusion. We are fighting to make sure that you are part of this program, and we need your ROEs so that every opportunity can be considered and made available to you. The more forms we have, the more opportunity we have to accelerate our recovery. And that's really what we're seeing here in La Costa in Malibu. This community came together and worked together to make sure that their ROE forms were turned in. And as you can see, the Army Corps is doing a great job of working on these properties in a collective, moving forward, and making sure that we're not only addressing these individual properties, but also protecting our beloved coastline. We have about 3,400 people who have not responded, meaning they haven't opted in, nor have they opted out. We need to get to these community members this week. Your forms must be turned in this week. So if you know someone who hasn't turned in an ROE, make sure to tell them to do so. A message for our nonprofit organizations and our houses of worship. Please complete ROEs and complete a request for public assistance form. We are also pushing to get you all of the help that you need and you deserve in this incredibly difficult time. Certain nonprofits must also apply for a U.S. Small Business Administration loan to be eligible for public assistance. That deadline is also March 31st, so it's a big day next Monday, and we need to make sure that everyone knows this deadline is nearing and that you turn in your forms accordingly. Anyone in the public can have their questions answered by calling the LA County Public Works Fire Debris Hotline at 844-347-3332. The Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA are here in Los Angeles County, helping us remove fire debris from our communities. There are many teams on the ground stationed throughout Los Angeles County, not only here in the 3rd District, but everywhere. And we appreciate the work that they're doing to quickly and safely collect this debris and get us back to normal. They are skilled in this work, and their work is well underway, and we're grateful to have their expertise on the ground. This team is second to none. We need to leverage the full power of their support by opting into debris removal as quickly as possible. We're seeing more and more compelling signs of recovery, More than 6,000 ROEs have been submitted directly to the Army Corps. The first permits have already been approved for rebuilding, so let's take advantage of this incredible support that is accelerating our recovery. We're moving forward together, and I'm endlessly grateful for the outpouring of support for our resilient residents, business owners, and community leaders, as well as all of our partners who are standing here with me today. I also want to thank our press corps. I know that you have been with us every step of the way as well, connecting Angelenos with this important public information. And I know it's not easy to keep showing up to this devastation, and it takes a toll on you all as well. So I want to thank you for continuing to keep our public informed and for being critical partners in this effort. Please complete your ROE forms. If you have any questions, you can call Public Works. We're here to help, but we want to make sure that every ROE is considered, and you have to submit by March 31st. Now it is my pleasure to welcome Malibu Mayor Doug Stewart.
Good afternoon. The ROEs that are being requested are not only critical for the well-being of your property, it's for the well-being of our city. Until we get this debris off the beach and off the hillsides, it's going to keep flowing into the ocean and into our streams. We need your cooperation as soon as possible. March 31st is a critical date. If you haven't got your information in, you must do it now. The City of Malibu has a facility site set up at City Hall to assist you with this process. All you have to do is come to City Hall. We'll help you get through it. Now, as far as rebuilding goes, our rebuilding center is open on the City Hall campus. It's just across the parking lot. And when you're ready to start your rebuild, or you just have questions about your rebuild, please come over to that rebuild center. We will take care of you. It is meant to be a one-stop shop. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Colonel Brian Saucer.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start off by saying just thank you to the greater community and all of our partners in this endeavor to remove all the fire debris that is in the entirety of the Palisades fire, to include the city of Malibu, the unincorporated areas, and the Pacific Palisades. When the Corps of Engineers comes in a natural disaster response, the first thing that we must establish is partnerships, because only through partnerships can we accomplish these incredibly complicated missions. And I'd like to first just thank the county and the city. In this instance here, the county, specifically County Public Works, who's been a great partner in this endeavor, but also the utility companies out there, the law enforcement agencies, Caltrans, who's been critical, especially here on PCH. But at the end of the day, the partner that is the most important is the affected homeowners. And it's those folks that unfortunately lost their homes in this fire. That partnership is absolutely critical. And I think here at La Costa Beach, we have a great example of everything coming together, of folks opting into the program or opting out, but making that election. And what you have here on this entire stretch of the beach is all the parcels accounted for. We know what everyone is going to do. And now we can synchronize our efforts. And that's what's going on this beach right now, is a synchronization of effort. And through that synchronization of effort, knowing who is opted in and who is opted out in the program, we can quickly remove this fire debris before the end of this month. On the government side, we may have some of our friends on the private side still doing some work on this beach, but then we can move to the next beach, the next stretch of PCH that needs to be worked on. And so for all the folks out there that are still undecided, I would encourage them to certainly consider the opt-in for the United States Army Corps of Engineers, and we will perform the work for you at no charge, but also just make an election. And if you make an election and you opt out, perfectly fine for us. We know who you opt out with, and then we can bring them into solving this problem. We're actively working with private contractors right next to us on this beach as I'm making these comments. And we can only do that because we know what that homeowner has elected to do. So like Supervisor Horvath just mentioned and Mayor Stewart, the deadline is the 31st of March. I highly encourage you to make your election before the end of March. It helps us move faster and clear this debris and continue to support this great community. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry.
We also have Chris Shepard here with us from LA County Public Works, available for any questions that you might have. Are there any questions? Yes.
How do you put them in order depending upon when a person submitted? These people obviously did it probably within a week or two after FEMA hit the ground.
So the question was whether they would go to the back of the line if they apply now, and that's actually not how the process works. They look for each community and try to batch the applications that have come in as a community together. That's what why La Costa Beach, as you just heard the Colonel describe, was able to proceed. That all of these applications came in, and so they've been able to address this collective community. So we're trying to make sure that complete communities are able to be addressed. They will not necessarily go to the back of the line. We're making sure that we're addressing community by community. Yes.
Oh, hi. Regarding the businesses that they claim are struggling because people cannot get into the area, can you discuss whether you're encouraging people to patronize the businesses and how they can do so?
It's an excellent question, and thank you for the opportunity. Malibu is open. That's the one thing I want to tell people. Malibu is open. You can come here, not necessarily down PCH, from where it used to from Santa Monica, but Malibu Canyon, Canyon Road, and from the north on from Oxnard, these roads are all open. Our stores are open. Our restaurants are open for the most part. But as you can tell, the news media, just on the other side of a retaining wall out here, or concrete K-rails, it's not a very fast-paced and easy way to get through. There's a lot of traffic that's backed up, and we've got a lot of construction work. So Malibu is open, and we're working diligently with our friends at the City of Los Angeles to see what we can do about expanding the opening. But for right now, come on down to Malibu. We've got our arms open, and you're very welcome.
Does anyone else have a question?
Here you go, Pete.
Question for Colonel Saucer. Do we have any kind of a rough deadline or rough timeline on when you want to be able to get the majority of these properties cleared once the opt-in is done, so that we can get K-rail out of here and you can actually have 2 lanes in each direction going up and down? Or do we anticipate traffic is going to be tied up here for a long time, because even after you guys clear this thing, trucks coming in here to do construction is going to be a pain?
No, it's an excellent question. So it is an optimization problem that we do have. And so when you have an optimization problem, you have constraints and unknowns. And certainly on the unknown side, the biggest unknown we just discussed is the ROEs. We need to know that denominator. We need to know how many properties that we're going to clear. And we also need to know who our friends are in the opt-out process, point 1. Point 2 is the constraints to an optimization problem. Optimization means moving faster, right? Getting this done quickly. And so those constraints certainly are utilization of PCH, which is the primary artery in order for us to reduce the amount of fire ash debris here along this sector of the fire. And so utilization of PCH is part of it. That's the truck count that we do have coming through, but it's also the work that we have to do on PCH. What I would tell folks is we have absolutely increased the amount of capacity that we do have. We're about operating around 70% of where we think we're going to be here in a few weeks. And so you're looking at over 800 trucks a day right now moving debris of all types, to getting well over 1,200 trucks a day per type, which certainly puts a strain on the system. It continues to put a strain on PCH. And we understand it puts a strain on Los Angeles as well. But if you want to get it done faster, you have to reduce the amount of constraints, and you've got to maximize output, and that's what we're fixing to do. And that ramp-up process is occurring right now.
Do we have any difficulties in finding places to put the debris once you've cleared it?
No, we do not. I will tell you, the state of California, the local communities, Los Angeles County and adjacent counties of Los Angeles have been very accommodating. We are utilizing a vast array of disposal facilities for all different types of debris, to include clean concrete that goes recycled back into the construction system, recycled metals that go back into the system. Then we have green waste that go to other facilities, and that we do have fire ash debris that also gets deposited at various landfills in Southern California.
Anyone else? Any other questions? All right.
I will just reiterate, If you have any question about whether you want to opt in. Work with us in that process. We will work with you on answering your questions. And if going through that process, you decide you want to opt out, you can do so. But opting in, the deadline is March 31st. We want to help you. Please reach out. We're here to help. Thank you very much.